3, 2, 1, 0.
This launch brought to you by Florida's Space Coast. GoCocoBeach.com.
You guys, this has obviously been speculated for a while. What ultimately led you to make this decision?
Well, I think that, it's a lot to it. I mean, you don't like to even think about making these decisions. You spend so much time, with your manager and your staff and trying to make this thing work. And, I know for me, when I came over 18 months ago, I wanted Fredi to be our manager and to give him a chance to be that guy. We extended him last year along with the staff. And I think as we got into spring training and opened the season and got off to the bad start, we wanted to keep providing opportunities, see if we could turn this thing around, and it obviously didn't look like it was going to happen. And I think Coppy and I started talking about this 4 or 5 days ago. That how much longer do you want to wait? And I think it goes without saying that, as being in the front office, for all of us in baseball operations that go to make decisions, this isn't, our bad start is not just laid at the foot of Fredi Gonzalez. We all assume a lot of responsibility for how this club has gotten off to this kind of a start. But with that said, we do think we're certainly better than what we've played. We're if you will, I think we recognize this winter. We're in a rebuild, and we're in the middle of a rebuild, and we've got so many great things that are happening and that are going on. But we didn't spend a lot of money on this club this winter. We, if you will, we sort of took some chances on guys going along, but at the end of it, at some point you have to put a product out there that's going to be respectable, and we just think that there's more in it, and there's a lot of season left.
John, did you going into the new ballpark next year? Did that affect the decision at all? Did you consider all letting him ride it out for this year and then not picking up the option for next year? Or
yeah, we did. We discussed that as well too. But I think that at a certain point we, in our own minds, made the decision that we were going to look for another manager for next year, and I don't know that was fair to Fredi. We're all too close, and I think it was wearing on him, how we were playing and what was going on. So, we just thought this was the right thing to do.
And when you make the decision to go with Brian Snitker, here's a guy who's been with your organization, are you hoping that he is that guy to force throughout the remainder of the season?
Yeah, it was something where Snit has been a Brave for 40 years. He's somebody that was on Bobby Cox's staff. He's somebody that has had a lot of these players, whether it was at AAA. He even had Frenchie and Kelly when they were back at AA 12, 15 years ago. He's somebody that can really kind of bring back the Braves' way. He's been here 40 years. Our whole staff has worked with him at some point. They all know him really well. And it's something for us where we felt that this was a man who would get the right message to our players and to our staff at a really tough time.
What type of expectations do you have for him, for the club, for the remainder of the season here? Is there anything particular you're going to look for between now and October?
Yeah, for us, it's about trying to create the right environment for our players. It's about trying to just get what you can out of these players. We've had a lot of guys that have played with him or that have played for him, and that he would know. I think when you went down there was a really good environment, and I think that he can bring some of that here. He will, he will be here for the rest of the year, and then at that point we will see whether we, want to stay there or, if it'll be a full-out search. But, this isn't Fredi's fault. No one is saying it's Fredi's fault. If you want to really have it laid at anyone's hands, it could be at mine and at John's. I think, even when we spoke with Fredi, it was time for a new voice and time for a change. And we hope that the change will spur this team. There's still 4.5 months left. It's something where we don't feel like this season is over. We feel like we've got a lot of baseball left to play, and that we can play our best baseball of the season yet.
Would you think, is it too early to say, or can you say that Eddie Perez and Terry Pendleton or anybody else on the staff would be candidates for the permanent job?
They were all names that we talked through. There were 4 or 5 names that were in-house that we talked through, and I think when we get through the season at that time that, you know, we will certainly go through that list again, as well as those that may be outside the Braves organization, and see what the best fit for us is long term. It's a very important hire for us long term. I mean, we hope we can find someone who's here for a long time. We have a really good farm system. We've got a lot of young players. We've got future financial flexibility coming. So, you know, there are a lot of good things that Fredi did, but we feel like there are a lot of good days ahead for us.